I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
After shocking the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez, Terrence "Bud" Crawford sent a direct message to Floyd Mayweather, not about his record or money, but his legacy. And Floyd, never one to let his name be dragged, fired back. In interviews, he downplayed Bud's win and reminded everyone why he calls himself the best ever. But this goes beyond trash talk. It's about boxing's legacy throne. Crawford holds the pound-for-pound crown, while Floyd has the unbeaten record, the PPVs, and the fame. For the first time, their legacies are colliding head-on. So, let's break it down.
Out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
To understand why Crawford made that comment, you've got to go back to Vegas. On September 13th, Crawford entered the ring against Canelo Alvarez, making a two-division jump, facing a massive size disadvantage, and hearing the fight world insist he had no shot. But then he proved everyone wrong. Across 12 rounds, Bud outboxed Canelo, shut down his power, landed the sharper, cleaner shots, and walked away as the first man in boxing history to become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
Something about what fighters go through, and you've seen enough guys that the game is taken from. It's a hard game to get through. Can you get a better ending than tonight? I mean, really?
Not at all. Not at all. This is the top of the top. Canelo is, an all-time great. Like I said before, he's the last one.
He was the A side of the age.
There's no more Canelos,
So,
there's no more. So, when you look around, you say, I'm the Canelo, I'm the face of boxing now. I'm the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, like I always been. Just gotta wait and see.
That wasn't just a victory, it was history. The kind of performance that changes narratives and reshapes conversations.
I couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. Mm-hmm. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time, for sure.
Suddenly, fans weren't just calling Bud the pound-for-pound #1. They were asking if he's greater than Floyd. And that's where the tension started. Floyd built his brand on being untouchable, on being Money Mayweather, the blueprint of the sport. But now Crawford's brilliance is shining so bright that even Floyd's legacy is being questioned.
Arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
That's why Crawford came out swinging with, "I'll up your legacy asterisk." He knows he's not just beating opponents, he's beating the narrative Floyd controlled for decades. When Crawford said he'd ruined Floyd's legacy, he wasn't talking about fighting him. He wasn't calling for a ring showdown, he was calling out the story. Floyd's entire career was built on control. He decided when to face Pacquiao, when to fight De La Hoya, took on Canelo when he was still young, and never allowed fans a reason to doubt him.
You see all these fighters, they're doing the shoulder roll, you see? I mean, yeah. And not knocking the guys that paved the way. And I want to come on record and say, I'm appreciative for guys like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. So many guys that paved the way for me. But there's only one Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are not better than me. You look at the numbers, they say, oh, Canelo may end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. Boy, he should. With almost, 80 and 90 fights, he should. I beat more world champions than any fighter in history. I'm 50-0, but half of my fights was world title fights.
But Crawford is built different. Bud dares to be great at every step. He didn't wait for Spence to decline, he demolished him at his peak. He didn't catch Canelo on the way down. He beat him at super middleweight, the division Canelo had ruled.
Chris Eubanks trainer, first of all.
It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been this trainer before, so
Yeah, it's good.
it's a no-brainer.
Of course. Congratulations on the win. What's your first reactions to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Do what he at this point now in his career where he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
Okay.
What Bud meant was clear, he's the one taking risks Floyd never did. And when their legacies are compared, that's the part people will remember.
You're so emotional afterward. Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved, the moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, the history, behind the sport is just everything that, I trained for my whole life. It all was, coming out that one night. That was all paying off. You have a lot of people that, adopted this narrative that Terrence Crawford can't sell, Terrence Crawford is not marketable, and they push the narrative to the public, and that's all people write about. Oh, Terrence Crawford can't do this, Terrence Crawford can't do that. But anyone in Terrence Crawford fights, you see a sold out crowd, but they wasn't talking about that. They was talking about how, marketable I'm not, and that kind of was hurting my career because, a lot of people was looking at me and said, oh yeah, they said he's not marketable. Or they said he's not, don't have a personality, things like that, because I didn't want to do things their way. I didn't want to put on a show. I didn't want to disrespect my opponents when they wasn't disrespecting me. Right. I wasn't, I'm not a guy that, wear jewelry for no reason. Just the things that I didn't want to do that they wanted me to do. They go out there and say, oh, well, they lost money on me. It's just crazy though to see me headline, not one of the largest attending fight in American history. In American history.
For Crawford, legacy isn't just about staying undefeated. It's about who you fought, when you fought them, and how you fought them. And that's why, in his mind, he can threaten Floyd's throne. But you already know Floyd couldn't stay silent. In classic money fashion, he downplayed Crawford's win, saying Canelo wasn't that good, that Bud's resume is thin compared to his, and that beating one or two names doesn't make you TBE. He reminded everyone of his 50-0 record, the biggest paydays in boxing history, and the fact that nobody ever solved him in the ring. To Floyd, Crawford isn't rewriting history, he's standing on Floyd's shoulders.
At the end of the day, I'll let you know. There's no fighter that will ever be better than me. There's no fighter that wasn't better than me before me or after me or when I'm long gone. I'm the best.
And the most brutal part, Floyd basically dismissed Crawford as irrelevant to his legacy. He said, when people talk about greatness, they talk about me. Period. Crawford can't touch what's already untouchable. Asterisk. That was Floyd's way of saying you can't erase the king, you can only imitate him.
Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
But here's the truth, the debate is real. Floyd's legacy is built on perfection, 50-0, never knocked down, victories over legends, and the pay-per-view crown. He turned boxing into a billion-dollar empire. Crawford's legacy, on the other hand, is built on daring to be great, a 3-time undisputed, 5-division champion who beat Spence and Canelo back-to-back at 38 years old. He's showing no fear, no hesitation, just pure dominance. This is the core of the legacy war: safety versus risk, business versus greatness, control versus courage.
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, you know, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terrence, when did you know that you were going to beat him over here on your left?
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it, but, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
Floyd will always say, I was the smartest. Crawford will always say, I was the bravest. And that's why Crawford's comment cut so deep, it attacked the one thing Floyd values more than money, his place in history.
Had a Cavs hat on, this time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, you know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terrence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
And he's doing numbers. The Netflix fight sold out a stadium, trended worldwide, and drew one of the biggest global audiences boxing has seen since Mayweather, Pacquiao.
The greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15,
yeah.
Easily, you know? There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, you know? But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo definitely gave him the win.
Get this, Floyd doesn't react like this unless he feels threatened. And right now, he does. Because Crawford isn't just winning fights, he's winning hearts. He's the pound-for-pound #1, the man who beat Canelo when no one thought it could happen, the fighter being called the GOAT by younger stars, legends, and analysts alike.
Robinson is the Griff.
Who?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Man,
That's
niggas
Griff.
I ain't even see that.
I YouTubed him, nigga. I YouTubed him. He on YouTube. Check YouTube.
He was buns.
Nah, it's like
buns. He was buns.
Sugar Ray Robinson is buns. No, you're wild. We're not standing for that.
Buns.
Listen, it's like this. It's like this. It's like
Boxing has evolved, bro.
It has, but I'm saying
and Sugar Ray Robinson didn't even know how to pick his hands up.
Hold up, it's
Go
like
watch
this.
him fight Jake LaMotta. He was hitting that nigga with non-stop hooks. Over and over.
But you're not counting like this. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain. That's like saying Wilt Chamberlain is not that. If you dominate in the era where you're doing shit that nobody does in the era, nobody was doing that.
Wilt Chamberlain, did they have a 3-point line?
No.
Oh, I don't want to hear about him.
He scored 100 points.
Doing what?
It don't matter what he did. 100 of these, nigga. 100 of these.
That's ass.
Nah, you gotta stop it.
That's ass.
That's why Floyd claps back. Not because Bud insulted him, but because Bud is taking over his lane. The pound-for-pound crown? Bud's. The pay-per-view headlines? Bud's. The spotlight? Bud's. And for the first time since Floyd retired, people aren't asking what would Floyd do, they're asking if Bud is better. Here's the kicker though, Crawford doesn't even want Floyd. He's always respected Mayweather, called him one of the greats, trained with him, and admitted Floyd was an influence. He's never begged for a fight or needed Floyd's validation. That's why this is different. Bud's comment wasn't about chasing clout or setting up a payday, it was about speaking his truth. To him, risk, courage, and achievement matter more than carefully protected perfection. Crawford knows fighting Floyd now would add nothing to his resume. Floyd is retired, 48 years old, far past his prime. Beating him would prove nothing. That's why Bud shrugs off the idea. For him, the legacy is already secured, and the fight world is eating it up.
1-8 and Oscar De La Hoya 111 and this one 115. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terrence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
Some legends side with Floyd, saying records and paydays don't lie. They argue that 50-0 is untouchable, that nobody will ever match Floyd's control over the sport. But others side with Crawford, seeing him as the man who dared to do what Floyd wouldn't, move up, take risks, fight anyone, anytime. They call him the pound-for-pound king, the true GOAT of this generation. Even analysts like Max Kellerman have weighed in, saying Crawford's willingness to face everyone puts him above Floyd in certain ways. It's a bold take, and one Floyd isn't letting slide.
Terrence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason. But Terrence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
So now, instead of Crawford versus Canelo, the fight world is buzzing about Crawford versus Mayweather's legacy. And in some ways, that's the more brutal war. So, where does it go from here? Floyd will keep talking, downplaying Bud's resume, reminding fans of his 50-0, and framing himself as untouchable. He might even push for an exhibition just to keep his name in the headlines. Crawford doesn't need to respond, his actions speak louder than words. He just beat Canelo Alvarez. He just made history at 38. He's already being crowned the pound-for-pound king. But make no mistake, this isn't fading anytime soon. Because when Crawford made that comment, he lit a fire under Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd never lets a fire burn without trying to control the smoke.
Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy.
Right now, I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather, but Canelo have more experience.
So, there you have it. Terrence Crawford told Floyd Mayweather, "I'll up your legacy asterisk." And Floyd fired back, downplaying Bud's win, reminding everyone of his 50-0 record, and insisting nobody can touch his throne. But the question remains, whose legacy shines brighter, Floyd's perfection or Bud's risk-taking greatness? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to Fight Field. I'll catch you in the next one.